Can you target a county or region versus a city in rank and rent? That is a question I'm going to be answering today on this video. And for a little bit of context, for those that have no idea what I'm talking about or are confused by the question, you may need to go and watch some other videos to understand what is being asked. But traditionally speaking, for most of us, we are targeting a specific city and a specific niche. And so in this specific case, what we're talking about is there are certain areas and again, we're talking about, I'm speaking about the United States, but this is probably even more common in other countries. In fact, I know it's more common from the other countries I've been in, even the countries I'm in right now, in Sierra Leone. So you have these certain states and these certain parts of the country. Let me give you an example. In Arkansas, which I used to live in, well, not full time, but I would live there half the year, about 4 to 6 months a year for 3 years in a row. In Arkansas, excuse me, the top left corner, if you're looking at a map, the top left corner that is commonly referred to as Northwest Arkansas or NWA. It's a very, very, very common thing that people call it. You've also probably heard people say something like the Tri-Cities. You've also, there's just these little nuances. Where I have a house in the US, in Utah, they call it Southern Utah, which embodies a bunch of different cities. There are these regions or these, sometimes it's known by county. Oh yeah, I'm in Iron County. And it's not, some of you guys are like, what are you talking about? In some areas, it's these funny little nuances, but that's just how people refer to that area. It's not, they don't really say the city. They say, yeah, I'm in Washington County. I'm in X County. And it's very common and known in that county or in that region to say, yeah, I'm from Southern Utah. I live in Northwest Arkansas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the question is, can you target or can you build a website that's called, let's use the Northwest Arkansas. Can you build a website and target NWAconcrete.com and target not just Bentonville, Arkansas, but also target Fayetteville, Arkansas, also target Rogers, Arkansas, also target, what else is there? Pea Ridge, Arkansas, also target all these different cities. I'm kind of trying to think of these cities that I used to live there. So the short answer is yes. The short answer is yes, you can, because guys, all you have to look at is what are people searching? How are they searching, right? And so before you just say, okay, he said yes, let's end the video, you got to hear the rest of it because there are some nuances to it. But yes, technically, you could go build a NWA tree service site. You could go build a Tri-Cities tree service site, Tri-Cities-treeservice.com, and you could go and you could do that. That's completely fine. And you could brand kind of the general area and start to work on rankings in that area. Now, by doing this, if your content, if your on-page SEO, if all of your keywords and everything were directed at Tri-Cities or NWA, then you're probably going to rank really rapidly for Tri-Cities treeservice.com, NWA treeservice.com, or Northwest Arkansas treeservice.com. And you're going to grab that traffic. Now, first of all, I would highly recommend you make sure there is search volume for those specific phrases, because maybe to you and your family that's been there forever calls it that, but maybe there's not that many people that search for it like that. Maybe they say it like that, but maybe they don't search for it like that. So you need to make sure there is volume, okay? The second thing you have to be aware of is that you targeting NWA tree service, trying to go ahead and just gobble up all of Fayetteville, all of Rogers, all of Springdale, all of Pea Ridge, and on, is going to put you at a disadvantage against somebody that has a specific site called FayettevilleTreeService.com that has all their content and keywords and on-page SEO targeting Fayetteville, because they are the local guy or local gal, and all of their content is about that. So they are at an advantage because they are focusing on one specific area. And I'm guessing that their anchor text is probably going to say Fayetteville. So you have to be very careful to make sure that you look. So if I were to do this, let's say I was taking Northwest Arkansas, I would look at the due diligence for tree service in Bentonville, Arkansas, Springdale, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Rogers, Arkansas, all the cities that I wanted to rank for, I would make sure that there was not some crazy competition organically. And again, for those that I'm kind of losing, organically meaning under the maps, because there's two different parts of this, right? There's actually three different parts. You have the ads at the top, then you have the maps or the Google My Business or the Google Local, however you want to call it, and then you have the organic. We're speaking about the organic, okay? So that's a couple things. The last piece of this is it gets a little bit more tricky with the GMB. With the GMB, if I were going to do that, and call myself and brand my website as NWA Tree Service, I would then go and get multiple Google My Business. I would go get one in Bentonville with the Bentonville address. I would go get one in Rogers with Rogers address, one in Fayetteville with the Fayetteville address, and on and on and on, because I want to give myself that chance. And Google Local does go off of where people are searching from, their IP address, and what area they're actually in. So this is kind of a complicated, tricky one, guys. And honestly, in my opinion, it's going to be rare for this to be worth it, because you've also probably seen where people try to brand the whole state, right? Utah Tree Service. Well, if I'm looking at getting my trees trimmed and I see Utah Tree Service or I see St. George Tree Service, well, in my mind, I'm going to go, well, that person's not really local. They're kind of like the national, this guy's the local guy, even if they're not, because of the way that they brand it. So in my opinion, it can be done, but why, for a couple extra bucks and a little bit more effort, not have specific sites for each of the cities and dominate each city? The other reason why I really like this strategy of doing specific cities is because if I'm working with a business owner that covers all those areas, I can easily justify $1,000 here, $1,500 for that one. Okay, this one's a little bit smaller with less traffic, $750 for that one. And I can start to show them that I'm giving them 4 websites worth of traffic, worth of leads, instead of 1. And even though you can explain it all day long, sometimes people do not understand. So in my opinion, yes, it can be done. And you could go and test this and it would work. But why are you doing it? Are you trying to save a few bucks on hosting? You're trying to save a few bucks on your domains? Guys, in the grand scheme of things, you are not the one paying for it. It is the business owner, because they're the one whose credit card is getting run. You are taking the split. And that is why this business model is so freaking beautiful. Guys, if you have not got started with Rank and Rent, why? I'm out.